Welcome to another Tale Upon a Time. Today's tale is going to be slightly different because I'm going to be reading to you from a wonderful book by Raine Geoghegan. And the title of the book is They Lit Fires, Lenti Hatch a Yog. So who is Raine? Well, Raine's heritage, her background is from a Romany traveller family. She's a writer. She writes poetry and prose and stories. And the story I'm going to read to you today from her wonderful book is about memories from when she was 4 or 5 years old and living with her granny. Now, some of the words, one or two of the words, you may not recognise. But see if you can work out what the words mean. But I will tell you at the end their meaning. And of course, I will put at the end underneath the video any other details about the words and the website where you can buy, if you would like to, some of Raine's books. So are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. On the Tober with Loolladi. Every Friday and Saturday, Granny was up early tying bunches of Loolladi, then putting them on her cart. She wore a paisley scarf, a dark blue money belt with a side pocket round her waist, gold earrings, and a gold sovereign on a chain at her neck. I liked to sit on the back doorstep and watch her. She tied them with a type of string called bass. When it got wet, it frayed, and it smelled of Weetabix. She worked swiftly, rhythmically, and when all the flowers were on the cart, she stood back, admiring them, as if she was looking at a work of art. My favourites were dahlias, deep purple, soft reds, bright orange, and I also loved sweet peas. Sometimes Granny would give me one to put on my pillow, and I remember once falling asleep, smelling the lovely scent. I'd open the gate for her in my pyjamas. The familiar sound of the wheels rolling over the drain in the alleyway made me think of trains. "Bye, Miguel. See you to grandfather, won't you?" "All right, Granny," I'd reply. And on her return in the late afternoon, her cart empty, her face glowing, she'd say, "Elf, make me a cup of Mesci. I'm parched." While grandfather was making her tea, she would untie the money belt, count out her poshes, and I'd kneel on the floor and watch her place the coins and notes in piles. Then she'd say, "The Lord's good. Hope I ain't half Duckering." And into my hands she dropped some coins. "Right now, let's get the oven on." And that night we'd have a proper feast. Lamb chops, mashed potatoes, ham and pickle, carrots and peas, fresh crusty bread, or the leftover Joey Grey that grandfather loved. And sometimes we had fresh strawberries from Kent and whipped cream. When we finished eating, we'd flop on the sofa and armchairs for a while, watch telly. I'd help Granny to wash up. Grandfather, well, he'd go for a walk and a smoke. I could smell it on his breath when he kissed me good night. And sometimes I would teach Granny a new word, writing it down so she could copy letter for letter. The curtains pulled, the doors locked. I would go to bed and fall asleep listening to grandfather playing a lullaby on his harmonica. It's another wonderful story, and you feel as if you're there with her, with Raine, as a little girl. Did you spot the words? So the Romany words were Tober, which means road, Loolladi, flowers, Mesci, tea, Duckering, aching, and Obben, dinner. And I will give you details at the end written underneath the video of, as I said, of Raine's website. So thank you so much for joining me once again in Tales Upon a Time, and the wonderful story written by Raine about her memory as a 4 or 5-year-old living with her granny. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.